Good afternoon, everyone. Pretty sedate weekend trading conditions, and honestly, I think that is a good thing. I think it might be a sign of good things to come. We've got Bitcoin just under $91,000, currently trading at a price of about $90,800. We are down from highs of about 93,000 put in towards the beginning of the weekend, but the way in which we've come back from those has been much less aggressive, much less panicky than what we've seen previously. And that is also reflected in the liquidations in the market. Over the last 24 hours, liquidations have been pretty small on both the long side and the short side. It's particularly those long liquidations that we're worried about on the sell-offs. And we really haven't seen that many positions getting totally wrecked out of the market. I think that is a sign of good things to come, even though we're down from 93K to just under 91K. As I said, the way in which we pulled back and we cooled off over the weekend, at least for right now, is looking fairly promising as we come into the upcoming week of trading. Now we know the Fed is now in their blackout period before the FOMC meeting on the 1st of December. Sorry, not on the 1st of December. It's coming up in about 10 days time from now. But we do have chances of a rate cut sitting pretty at about 86%, just north of 86%, I believe, on the CME FedWatch tool. We know this is good. We know markets have enjoyed this. The risk assets across the board, right, in particular the US stock market, is now sitting pretty damn close back up to all-time highs after the last two, scary sell-offs we had. Scary sell-offs for a lot of people in the market. Things are looking pretty healthy, at least for right now. The markets are responding well to that higher, elevated chance of a rate cut. But remember, the Fed is now in their blackout period, so we won't hear any more news from Fed members, from Fed officials, prior to that next December monetary policy decision at FOMC, where we will find out for real if the Fed makes good on their 25 basis point rate cut. So yeah, things are looking good going into Monday. Like I say, focus on Bitcoin, focus on crypto. Selling off, which is fine. It's perfectly healthy to have the markets going both ways, at least in the micro sense, right? But the way in which we've sold off doesn't make me too uncomfortable about where this could go from now. And bear in mind, on the 30-day time horizon, we are still looking at an imbalance of short side liquidation risk in the market. So something like $12 billion worth of, I think it's closer to $10 billion worth of short side liquidation risk right now versus about $5 to $6 billion worth of long side liquidation risk. So there's still quite the disparity there, but notice how these numbers have reduced. Okay, and so once again, we're looking at the 30-day average here, and this is cumulative data, but that number is starting to come down. It is starting to cool off because sentiment has been so low for a fairly long time now, right? Pretty much since we started selling off in October, sentiment has been coming down, and that means that leverage has been pulled from the market on both sides, which can be a good and it can be a bad thing. On net, I think it is generally a good thing because we've discussed time and again how excess leverage in the market leads to these massive swings, massive high volatility moves as people get wrecked and forced to either buy or sell, depending on whether they're in leverage, long or short positions. But there we go. That's where I am. That's the way I'm looking at things right now. As always, just my opinion, not financial advice, but could be an exciting week ahead. Plenty more to come. Catch you in the next one. Bye.